design thinking. Hi, today we are going to be talking about design thinking. But before we get into it, let's examine the two thinking processes which we have been used to all our lives. And they are convergent thinking and divergent thinking. Convergent thinking is the process of finding a single best solution to a problem that you are trying to solve. Many tests that are used in schools, such as multiple choice tests, spelling tests, math quizzes, and standardized tests, all are measures of convergent thinking. Traditional intelligence tests, such as Stanford Binet, also measure convergent thinking. So the question is as to how does convergent thinking differ from divergent thinking? Well, divergent thinking is the process of creating many unique solutions in order to solve a problem. The problem of convergent thinking is systematic and logical, unlike divergent thinking, which is spontaneous and free-flowing. When using convergent thinking, we apply logical steps in order to determine the single best solution. Whenever we use divergent thinking, we search for options instead of just choosing among predetermined options. So now that we've understood these two terms, let's move on. So by the end of this video, you will be sensitized to the need of design thinking and will be able to list out the steps used in the process. So when you come across a problem, when you analyze and think about a solution, we unconsciously apply design thinking principles. So design thinking is a human-centered, action-oriented, iterative, problem-solving and idea-generating method. In design thinking, student teams generate business ideas. They develop entrepreneurial projects, test prototypes by engaging with customers. The design thinking approach was meant to overcome the downside of a more traditional way of entrepreneurship education, which was essentially focusing on what? Writing business plans. So, an only business plan approach did not trigger much creativity and did not lead to many new ventures. So, let's get down to basics. The first thing we need to figure out is what is design thinking? So, all human beings have an innate ability to design, and design thinking can be learned, practiced by people with all sorts of disciplinary background. Design thinking is an approach inspired by the design practices, which entails a non-linear process consisting of a holistic analysis of the problem as well as an exploration of many different possible solutions before implementation of a final solution. Complicated, right? Let's break it down. Let's look at it in simple steps. So it's a process which requires an ability to deliberately shift between divergent and convergent thinking. Another essential element is curiosity about and insight into human needs, behavior, and context as a means to qualify both problem understanding and development of a new meaningful and valuable solutions. Visual and tactile representations like sketches, prototypes, diagrams, models, etc. are crucial elements in design thinking for communicating, evaluating, qualifying knowledge and ideas. Because verbal and written communication does not suffice in supporting dialogue and development work in this way. Design thinking is particularly suitable as an approach for solving wicked problems, as Buchanan and Rittel talk about. So what are wicked problems? So these are open-ended problems which are ill-defined and often leads to new problems when someone tries to solve them. So in this type of problem, solving it is necessary to incorporate and utilize knowledge from many disciplines, both in order to qualify better understanding of the problem and also to enable the development of innovative solutions. So let us look at a problem. Okay, say your grandmother wants to be in touch with you using technology, but her frail and constantly shaking fingers makes it difficult to use the mouse or the mouse pad. In fact, she has never used a mouse ever in her life. Now, quite a wicked problem, isn't it? Now, what do we do about it? The process of design thinking can help find a solution for this problem. In fact, any problem can be approached using this methodology. There exist many different types of process models for design thinking. Here, a process model defined by Stanford in 2010 will be discussed, which basically consists of 5 phases: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Each phase contains a specific focus and mindset, and throughout all the phases, students are to work with physical representation of information and insights in order to ensure optimal knowledge transfer between phases. So, from one phase to the other. You can choose to let these phases represent themes for your teaching and select appropriate methods therein for each phase as a structure of the process. This can be done by letting the students present or hand in preliminary results from phase activities. So this phase to the other phase, whatever phase activities, you do that in order to get feedback from you as a teacher, or if there are external lecturers, academic experts, users, or other relevant people. Even though the process model consists of 5 phases, it should not be used as a rigorous management tool for a chronological development process. But you should allow iterations along the way in a very flexible manner. You can also leave it up to the students to organize these process based on the 5 phases to allow for more iterative and independent work on their projects. So in the next couple of videos, we shall dig a little deeper into these 5. So look forward to interacting with you on the next set of videos. Have a nice day.